Immortal, invisible, the only wise God. To you we bow this morning. To you we worship this morning. Unto you we sing this song. Oh God Almighty, we bless you, Jesus. We praise you, Jesus. We sing this song to you, God. Oh, hallelujah, hallelujah. You're God all by yourself, Jesus. We bless you, Jesus. We praise you, Jesus, Son of God. We crown you with many crowns, oh God. There is none holy. There is none beside me. Neither is there any road like our God. There is none holy as the Lord. There is none holy as the God. There is we'll lift you up this morning, our righteousness, our shield, our buckler, our light, our salvation, our confidence, hallelujah, our stability, our all in all, the center of our joy. We give you glory this morning, O God. We give you praise this morning, Jesus. You are the reason why we can lift our hands, O God. You are the reason why we can lift our voice this morning, Jesus. You are the reason why we can lift our feet, oh God. Why we can dance, jump, and praise your name. You are the center of it all. Jesus, be thou exalted. In the midst of your people, we step aside. We ask that you will glorify yourself. Thank you, King of glory. Blessed be your name, Father. In Jesus' mighty name we have worship. Come on, put your hands together for Jesus. Why don't you celebrate your neighbor this morning? Go celebrate your neighbor. Celebrate your neighbor this morning. Hallelujah. Celebrate your neighbor this morning. Tell them how beautiful, how wonderful they are, how excellent you're looking. The Lord has made you looking good. Hallelujah. Glory to God. Glory to Jesus. Glory to Jesus. Thank you, Father. God bless you.
Good morning. It is a pleasure to have you guys here this morning. My voice is no longer my own, so please permit me. It is wonderful to have you in the house this morning. If you are worshiping with us for the first time, could you let us know by waving your hand? We would love to get to know you. We would love to meet you. Oh, I see hands. Would you please rise? Church, let us give them a wonderful, heartfelt welcome.
You begun a good work in you. You begun a good work in you. You begun a good work in you. Will be faithful to complete it. Will be faithful to complete it. You will start and no one will be faithful to complete it. You begun a good work in you. Begun a good work in you. Begun a good work in you. Will be faithful to complete it. Will be faithful to complete it. You will start and no one will be faithful to complete it. You.
We have some wonderful people behind us here.
You got a good work in you. You got a good work in you. You got a good work in you. Will be faithful to complete it. Will be faithful to complete it. He will start and no one will be faithful to complete it.
Good morning. Does anyone know the names?
Yes, Kingsley. Kingsley over there.
Okay. Sir Kingsley, we welcome you. Anyone else know their names?
Audrey. Yes, Audrey and Audrey.
Yes. Andre, Chantel. Yes. Kingsley, yes. And there's David behind, Sir Shadrach and Mrs. Loma. Yes? Oh, yes. There's Cavell, and Chantel and Andre. We welcome you all. We are happy to have you here. And at the end of the service, we would love to meet with you and pray for you on this side of the church to let you know what we do here. And if you are looking for a home church, we would like to have you here. You know? Good morning.
Amen. Hallelujah. This God is too good, Lord. I will worship you forever, love you forever, because this God is too good, Lord. I will worship you forever, love you forever, because this God is too good, Lord. I will worship you forever, love you forever, because this God worship you. We will love you. We will serve you. All the days of our life, you will be the center of all that we do. Thank you, Father God. In Jesus' name. Amen. Praise God. It's time to give a tithe and offering very quickly. Hallelujah. God is good. Thank you, choir. Very quickly, let's do that. This Sunday is our Empowerment Sunday. And we're going to be having a few things that we're going to be sharing this morning. But we want to quickly do this. If you're writing checks, please write it to RCCG Cornerstone Worship Center. By the way, I want to welcome back Brother Benjamin. Praise God. Sister Anastasia, welcome back home. We missed you, but it's good to see your faces again. She is in the house. Hallelujah. Glory to God. I believe that God is bringing everybody back home. Same time. Hallelujah. Please, if you're writing checks, write it to RCCG Cornerstone Worship Center. We want to encourage our friends, if you don't have checkbook here, you don't have cash, but you want to give. Maybe like me, you have an Android phone or an iPhone, you can still give. You can download an app that is called Givelify, Givelify. You can give, download, look for the church RCCG Cornerstone Worship Center, and you can give through it whatever you want to give. And if you don't have a phone, but you still want to give and you're willing to let your debit card or your credit card be swiped, we have a card processor. Brother, okay. Jimmy is at the back there. If you want to give through your card, you can see her and swipe the card. We have a card processor. And for our friends in the house and our guests, we usually take a tithe and offering differently. We always ask all those who are giving their tithes to come forward, and then all of us that are giving our offering, we all rise up together to celebrate God with our giving. Let's do that very quickly. And please, if your envelope, please make sure you write your names on your envelope, the amount that you're giving. If your address has changed, please do notify, write it there so we can record your giving well. And if you're giving with a card or Givelify, cash or check, please mark it on it. And if you know your envelope number, please do write it on it so that we can properly record your giving for the end of the year. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. Please, those who are giving your tithes, please come forward quickly. Church, let's rise up, let's rise up, let's rise up. Let's honor the Lord this morning quickly. Lift up your offering, lift up your tithe to Him this morning. Hallelujah. Glory to God. We give you praise, Lord. I bring you all that you've given to me, Jesus. Oh, thank you, Father God. Lift it up to Him this morning. Lift it up to Him. Can we be on our feet, church, please? Can we just honor the Lord this morning, just for these few minutes? Just wave that envelope to Him. Wave it to the Lord. This is an offering of giving to the Lord this morning. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Accept, oh God, my wave offering this morning. With this gift, I come to you humbly, oh God, knowing fully well that they all come from you. You are the giver of life. You are the giver of everything that we have. Everything that we own comes from you, God. We thank you, God. We thank you for this great privilege, oh God. We thank you. Who am I? Who is my family? That you will choose that we will give to you, the God that owns all things. Humbly I come this morning, God. Receive it, oh God. Humbly we come this morning, receive it. We are too tiny to give you anything. Oh, because you own all things. The cattle on 1,000 hills belong to you. The silver and the gold, everything. The Bible says heaven and earth were made by you and all that is in it. Lord, this morning we just offer this to you, God, as a token of our love and our appreciation for all that you do in our lives every day, God. If we are to count all that you do, money is not enough to pay you back. But this morning we say, take, accept, oh God, and let it be used to the glory of your name. And look down, God, into every circumstance standing here today. In every situation before you, look down, oh God. Show mercy. Heal those who need healing. Save those who need salvation. Bless those who need it, oh God, in the name of Jesus. Let us return home today filled with joy. Thank you, eternal rock of ages. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. the story you've written about our lives, bringing us out of the murky clay, out of the horrible pits. He didn't end there. You set our feet upon the rock to stay. You put a new song in our mouths to sing. The song of salvation, the song of righteousness, the song of victory. We thank you. This is our story. This is our song. Praising our Savior all the day long. We thank you. We are grateful that we have a new story. Thank you, Father. To you be all the glory. In Jesus' name we have prayed. Amen. This morning, by the grace of God, we're going to be having a moment to receive some things that can help us to do better in life. Like sometimes we always feel that if we can pray enough, all things will be okay. We feel that if we can fast enough, all things will be okay. But may I let you know also that faith without work is dead. So there are certain things that we need to know to put into place along with our faith that is going to help us to make impact in our communities, impact in our families, and impact in our cities. And as much as God is trusting that we will do well spiritually, He's also trusting that we will do well professionally. Amen. He's also trusting that we will do well in our careers. Praise God. And that's why, as a church, not only that we are addressing the spiritual part of our life, we're also addressing the areas that can help us to become relevant. Praise God. Relevant in your profession, relevant in your community, relevant at your workplaces. So that when they see you, you're not just a Christian who just come, but you're a Christian who is making impact. And a Christian who is making success in different areas of your life. So this morning, by the grace of God, I have a brother, and I'm so glad he's not just a professional, he's a brother. Brother Oladoye Oniriti is an engineer with Intel. And this wonderful brother has worked in areas of finance, in areas of operations. He's a data analyst specialist, or data analyst, like they call it. You are the. He is currently the IT technical lead for his Southwest team at Intel. I hope I'm getting. The best of all is that brother Oladoye is a child of God and a proud family man. I also learned that he takes his children out for soccer training, and that he's super committed to it. Oladoye, I didn't know that. I see you sometimes and I wonder, but I thank God for you. Church, I want us to rise up this morning as we welcome to the pulpit Brother Oladoye Oniriti, all the way from China. Hallelujah.
Thank you for those kind words. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Shil, for bringing me here today. I've been wanting to do this for a very long time, but I really appreciate it when you brought it up. Thank you so much. Pastor, I really appreciate the time and the opportunity to be here today. Thank you. So I have a information session to share with you guys today. Well, you all will do me a really good favor if you can ask a lot of questions. I want it to be more interactive. I don't just want to be the only one talking today, but I want you guys to ask me as much questions as possible. There's no dumb question, okay? Any question about the program? All right, so I'm here to talk about IT. Has anybody heard about IT before? Yes. Great. All right, can we go to the next slide? Okay, so quick agenda for today. I'm going to start with introduction. I'm going to properly introduce myself. We're going to talk about Eclipse Consult, which I'm representing here today. And we're going to talk about IT. We're going to talk about a little bit about technical stuff today, but I'm going to try to break it down as much as possible. But again, please ask me a lot of questions. Then we're going to narrow it down to data analytics and reporting program that I'm actually here for. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the next slide. All right. So my full name is Oladoye, but please feel free to call me Doye. Anytime I hear Oladoye, to me it feels like I'm in trouble because that's where my parents call me my full name. Oladoye. And I know I'm in trouble, so please call me Doye. Doye is fine. A little bit about my background. I have mechanical engineering from Nigeria. And if you all don't mind, I'm going to, tell you a little story about myself, right? I'm not going to spend too much time. But I have a mechanical engineering from Nigeria, from Lautech. And when I came to this country about less than 15 years ago, I think that was 2005, 6. Yeah, 13 years ago. Wow, it goes by really quick. So when I came here, I went back to school. Of course, when I came, I brought my engineering degree, and they told me, well, we can't offer you an engineering job. You're going to have to become a technician. And that was not good enough for me, so I went back to school. So I got MBA in finance. And that was in Georgia. So I was in Georgia, I went through the program, the MBA program, got a student loans, and the program was 2 years. So I completed the program, and I had an opportunity to talk to Intel at the time. I was in Georgia, guys. And Intel liked me, and I kind of liked them as well. And they said, well, we're going to give you an offer. Okay, and by the way, we want to move every member of your family from Georgia to Arizona. I said, fantastic. As long as you guys are going to pay for it. I said, yeah. They gave me 2 options. They said, we can either move you, or we can pay you so that you can move yourself. So can you guys guess what option I chose? You can't go wrong with that. I guess the reason why I'm saying this is it's really important, especially for some of us that are coming from from Africa. We're coming to this country. I feel like we can do more than what we're doing right now. That's just the bottom line here. Okay. So I've been in tech. I'm actually in tech right now with Intel Corporation. I've been in construction. I've been in automobile. Automobile. I work for Ford Motor Company in Dearborn, Michigan. Just for a little bit. You have a question? Oh, okay. There you go. Next slide, please. Okay, so we're going to talk about Eclipse Consult, and I am a co-owner of Eclipse Consult. We started this company about 5 years ago, and we do 3 things. We do IT training, we do consulting, and we do development. But people know us more for the training, but we do a lot more than the training. Again, like I said, we started this company about 5 years ago, and we are located here in Arizona. We actually registered with Arizona Corporate Commission. So if you look us up, you're going to see us well registered. But one thing keeps us going, and here I'm going to spend a few minutes to talk about a few things. Okay. Like I have a full-time job and my business partner has a full-time job, but we do this on the side. And part of the reason why we do this is that we realize that when people come from Africa, they're not exposed to a lot of information. They're so limited. The amount of information they get is so limited. And sometimes, because they got so limited information, in most cases, they decide to do something versus another thing. I'm not going to mention anything here today, but you all can, kind of read in between the lines. So when we started, we said, you know what? We're going to put the information out there, and we're going to give people opportunity to decide on exactly what they want to do. If they want to go do nursing, that's fine. If they're passionate about it, it's completely fine. But it's always good to open up the information, share as much information as possible to people. Oh, thank you. And that's part of why we started this program. Secondly, we feel like people think that IT is just meant for just certain people. Like, you have to be really smart to be in IT. Also, people think that IT is meant for you know what? For the Indians, for the Chinese. No, they're not smarter than us. I mean, I've been in industry for quite a bit, right? I see them, I work with them every day, and I feel like we're smarter than them, honestly. But you know why they're thriving? The reason is that they're willing to share. You know, our people, they have this information, you know, they do well in the industry, you know, we have doctors and pharmacists and engineers. But in most cases, they don't want to share. They feel like, you know what, I just want to be here and you know, and make as much as I can. But I keep telling them, there's a lot of money to be made out there, you can make it all. You're not going to make my money, I'm going to make mine, and you can make yours as well.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's part of the passion that is driving us, right? We want to put information out there, and we want to tell you guys that you can do it. As long as you're passionate about it, as long as it's exactly what you want to do, or you can do it. Now, speaking of the training, the way we structure the training is such that anyone that wants to change their career from wherever they are right now, and they want to go into IT, it's more like the basics, right? You know, like something that can launch you into IT. IT is huge, okay? But this is more like, you know, kind of dumbing it down as much as possible and just get your foot into the door. And when you get your foot into the door, you can pretty much go do whatever you want. IT is huge, okay? Now, if you look at some of the requirements we have here, if you're able to open your PC, if you can Facebook, you know, if you can, which other ones, IG, or if you can install application on your PC and you can navigate your ways around, you know, PC, this is for you. And we pretty much do Microsoft, everything Microsoft. Any questions? All right, no questions, okay? All right, so a little bit about IT right here. IT is a broad subject, and it's all about managing information and processing information. Bottom line. Now, let me give you a classic example. If Amazon loses their data today, what's going to happen?
Crisis.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No doubt about that. Or if Walmart loses their data today, what happens? They're done. Yeah. It tells you how important data is, information. Okay? And data is really useless until you can get a meaningful information from the data. Okay, that's what IT is all about. Think about shopping on Amazon. Let's just pretend you went on Amazon yesterday and you got cereal for yourself. Believe me, when you go back tomorrow, it's going to recommend milk.
Yeah.
It's all data driven. Someone is behind the scene, collecting your information. They know where you live. They know the amount of time you buy cereal. They know your age. And they can pretty much, you know, kind of guess what your pattern of life is. It's all about data. Okay, and I keep telling people, data is going to be really, really important the next 5, 10 years. And you know why? Because there are a lot of devices today that are collecting data. And companies need people that can sort through the data and get meaningful information from the data. You know, look at the cars that we drive right now. Collect a lot of information. Alexa, okay Google, your cell phone. You know, some of you might even have home automation, like you have, you can remotely turn on your TV or remotely turn on your phone. They're all collecting data. And it's really, really important that we all get ready for the next 5, 10 years. The train is about to leave the station, guys. I am telling you. Make sure you get on the train. Okay? Now, why IT? Okay? One of the opportunities that you get working in this IT industry is opportunity to work remotely. For me, tomorrow, I can decide and say, you know what? I don't have a face-to-face meeting tomorrow at work. I don't have to see any executive at work tomorrow. You know what? I'm just going to wake up, take my kids to school, get back, get a coffee, and start my day. Okay, we've seen this happen before, and it keeps happening. Right? You get a chance to work from home. It doesn't have to be your house. It could be Starbucks. And I'm not encouraging anyone to do this, but I have a friend, okay, he actually went to Nigeria. Nobody knew. And he was working from Nigeria as if he was here. And he did his job. Nobody knew. So that's part of the opportunity. You can pretty much work from anywhere. You have internet access, you have your cell phone, and you have your PC. Now, the one I like most is show me the money. And the next couple of slides, I'm going to show you a little bit of data sets, okay? But IT plays really, really well. Believe it or not, please do your research when you get home today. Get on Google, research, do your own research. As a matter of fact, I'm not going to call out name, but I know someone here today that just landed almost six-figure job just this last week. He's right here with us, and I'm not going to call his name. He went through the program. Okay? And that is his first job as an IT professional. Almost six figures, like in the 90s. This is for real. Okay? And I can go on and on and on and give you more examples of people, and I see a couple of faces that are going through the program right now. I've seen pastors go through the program, a couple of pastors are going through the program right now, a couple are going through the program, they've landed themselves an IT job. This is for real, okay? Now let's talk about wide range of opportunities. There's so many opportunities out there. You see, IT is now becoming nursing. People in nursing, they tell you that there's job security, which is true. I agree, I completely agree. When they lose a job today, they'll get another job tomorrow. IT is becoming like that. And just so you know, for the very first time in the last couple of years, I feel like if I lose my job, I'm going to get another one. Previously, when I was doing finance, I was in operations, I'm like, I didn't have that confidence. But right now, I feel like if anything happens, I can always get another job in IT. Please keep that in mind also. IT is becoming like nursing. You can leave a job today and get another job tomorrow. As a matter of fact, there was another girl. He landed a job about a month ago with Arizona State government. Last week, because he got another offer that was going to pay $20,000 more, she left the government job. Just within 1 month. Okay? Now, the last one is what I really like most. You can have your own business at some point. When you get to a point in your career and you feel like, you know what, I don't want to work for anyone anymore, you can start your own business and start consulting for people. Mid-sized, small-sized company, you can go to them and say, you know what, you guys collect data, you guys have data, I can help you find meaningful information from your data set. Any questions? Please feel free to ask me questions, please. Yes, please.
So someone as like a young adult, say they're just starting out and finding their passion, say they want to go into IT, what steps should they take in order to pursue IT? As far as like schooling,
So the question was if there's a young adult that's just starting life and he or she wants to go into IT, how does he or she goes about doing that? It depends, right? If you're a person that, you believe that, what, I need to go get a degree for myself, it's great, right? Get a degree, but at the same time, the degree you get, they don't give you the hands-on that you really need. I mean, I have a couple of ASU students right now going through the program, and they can testify to it. some of the classes that we're teaching them, they've gone through some of those classes in school, but it was so theoretical, right? So they never really got the hands-on that they needed. But to answer your question, you can enroll in a university or get a college degree, but at the same time start doing some kind of training on the side. So you have your degree in your pocket and you have the hands-on training that you need. You know, I've seen people, they got MBA degree, they couldn't find a job, they're doing IT right now. Okay, does that answer your question though? Okay, yeah, so you can enroll in the university and get your degree, but at the same time, you can do training on the side. What I like really most is situation where you get an opportunity to work for a company that will pay for your student loans. Yeah, I work for a company that does that. You know, if you can try as much as possible not to get into student loans, I would really encourage you not to do that, because do not get into those loans. It's, yeah. Anyways, so if you get an opportunity to work for a company that will pay, by all means, let them pay for it. You know. Any other question? Is it really making sense though? If you need me to take a deeper dive, please let me know. I want this to be really, really interactive, please. Yes, sure.
I just want you to really have a little more clarification. Is it that you need a degree? Is it that you need a degree plus this to get a job? Or just with this, even without a degree, you can actually get a job and get started in life?
Okay, that's a good question. Yeah, you know, I was trying to be careful to answer that question because, you know, where we come from, we love degrees, right? We love hiding up degrees. Yeah, we love it. You know, my wife, she has a lot of certifications. You know, she just, you know, yeah, we love that. So if that's your passion, right, you can still pursue that, right? But I can tell you right now, you do not, read my lips very well, you do not need a degree to become an IT professional. There are a lot of high school dropouts in San Francisco right now. They're coding their life every day. And you know what? They make a lot of money. They are high school dropouts. A lot of them in San Francisco. So you do not need a degree. But it's always good because, again, at some point you want to rise in your career, right? Yeah. And somebody's going to say, okay, what do you have? Maybe you just want to move from, you know, everyday data analysis and you want to become somebody that makes decisions, right? It's always good to have that degree in your pocket, so you can show them, you know, I've got the credentials. Yes.
Okay, so based on the data set you're talking about on the IT, is it just for like the groceries? Like, is there a certain kind of data set it takes, or
Good question. All right. So the good thing about IT, remember I told you that IT is becoming, you know, like nursing and becoming a doctor, right? The same. To answer your question, if you know an organization that does not have an IT shop, they're about to close down.
Yeah. That's true.
You know, at the minimum, outsource. If they don't have it on site, they're probably outsourcing it. If they don't have an IT shop, they're about to close down. They cannot compete. Now, to answer your question, it doesn't have to be grocery, right? Think about autonomous vehicle, for example. You see Waymo, you see Tesla, and you know, they collect data every day and they make decisions with that data. Okay, let's pretend that, you know, they push out the software and the software was supposed to recognize a red light or stop sign, but it didn't. They collect data and they look at, you know, trend. They look at some, you know, some information in the data, and they can say, you know what, we're supposed to ask the car to stop when it gets to that red light because that's the right thing to do. You know what, we're going to push another update so that when the car gets to that stop light, it stops. So it doesn't have to be grocery, any industry. Think about pharmaceutical, for example, or even when they do clinical trials, they use data sets, right? They sample people, they give them medication, they collect data from them, it's all kinds of data they collect from them. And you know what? They take those data sets and they process it. They find some kind of meaningful information from the data. They find some trend, based on did the person take the medication in the morning, and what was the temperature when he took the medication? All kinds of data. So it doesn't have to be just retail. Any other question? Yes, sir.
This is about improving people's
Yes.
So, yes, thank you. Appreciate that. If there are young people that want to start on this, what is the amount of investment they need to put in? I'm talking financial investment.
Oh, we're going to get to that too.
Okay, and my second question is, do you have financing for them?
No.
Not many people have that.
No, we don't have financing, but when we get to that part, let's talk about tuition when we get there.
All right.
Yeah, we're really flexible with people. Okay? So let's put the questions in the cooler. I'm going to answer your question when we get there. But what I'm showing right now, I'm not sure if you all can see it though, but it's a data set that was collected by this company called Robert Alf. It wasn't my data set. And basically, this data shows you average income of people in IT. And when we show this to people look at us like, for real, people make this kind of money? Yeah, people do. Now, if you look at the red highlights that I have on there, when you go through this program, you can apply as a data analyst / data report writer, okay? Also, you can apply as a business intelligence analyst or data reporting analyst. Now, look at the starting salary right there, $81,000 for data analyst and reporting, right? Business intelligence, $85,000. Data reporting analyst, $59,000. Now, these are average. This is not specific to Arizona, right? This is like total United States, 50 states. These are the average. And the starting salary right there is for people that are just going into that career. I don't know how much you guys make right now, but if you have an opportunity to make this kind of money and you can even make more, why not? Any question about this data set? Again, you all can do research as well. I didn't put it together. It's online. It's the latest information that they have about technology job. Questions? And by the way, there are a couple of people that are going through this program. If you want to talk to them, please let me know. I mean, they can tell you their experience so far about, about the program. They can tell you a little bit more. Again, I'm not sure if you guys can see this, but what I'm trying to call out here is that these jobs right here, it's so difficult for a lot of employers to fill these jobs. Hard to staff positions, right? A business intelligence analyst job is really difficult to find people to do. That's opportunity right there. Please.
Just a quick question. How long does the program last?
It's 5 months. It's a 5 month program. Okay, since you're asking me about the program, so let's just go right into what the program is about. Okay? All right, so the program is data analytics and reporting track. Okay, it's a 5 month program. I'm not going to bore you too much with this right here, but when you take this program, you can apply for a business intelligence analyst job, or you can apply for report analyst or data analyst job. But it's a 5 month program. Now, we also have accelerated program, if anybody is interested in accelerated program. It's a 2 month program, but it's very, very intense, right? We meet like think we do about 12 hours of class every week, about 12 or 15 hours of class every week. And the accelerated class is being taught by myself and my business partner. Okay? Now, one thing I need to call out here. Now, this program, I don't know if you've been to some program where you only have one person teaching everything for 5 months. No. This program, we have 4 different instructors teaching this program. Okay? And 3 of them actually went through the program about 3 or 4 years ago. They did really well. They landed themselves a really good job. And we assess them very well. And we feel like, yeah, these people can really teach. They have a heart of a teacher. And that's why we brought them on board. And they teach for us. Okay? And that's what they do for a living. That's what they do at work. Any question? Questions? I'm sorry, go ahead.
I kind of know about this field, but I wanted you to just break it down because I feel like people might not really understand what data analyst is. So if you can break it down. So data is obviously information, right? So you can say, let's use, for example, shoes. Nike sells a lot of shoes. They put a ID sticker on every shoe. So all that data is used by what? By the data analyst. Are they looking at, okay, so across America, we're going to pull all the data on all the shoes that were sold, and then you guys make reports? And what kind of software do you guys use? Do you Excel, SPSS, SQL? What does that mean, I guess?
Mm-hmm. Good question. So let's take a deeper dive into, just like she said, let's take a deeper dive into it. Now let's pretend that you work for a company. You work for a manufacturing company, okay? And you guys manufacture like 10 different products. And you collect financial data, like revenue, cost, profit. Also at the same time, you collect marketing data, right? You want to know, geographical location of people that are buying your products. Are they in East Coast or West Coast? How much do they make average, right? Those kind of information, companies collect them. And depending on where you find yourself in that company, they could ask you to build them a report that will show them how well they're doing in terms of sales. Remember when they collect the data was not normalized. Wasn't like the data was all over the place. Now your job is to bring the data together and help the company to understand that product A sold this much last month. Product B sold this much last month. And your job is to help them understand what is driving those revenue. Okay? Now the business intelligence is far beyond just building a report to show data. It's also reading in between the lines and helping companies to make decisions. And that's what I do for a living. I love that part of my job, where I can see that with senior management and we talk about strategy. We talk about tactical and long-term strategy. And by that I mean you can have a conversation with your manager about, we need to invest more money into this product because we think it's going to even sell more in the future. Because you have access to the data, you can make those proposals to your management. Okay? Another example could be, like she said, you work for a Nike store and they have all kinds of brands, right? They have the Jordans and they have, all kinds of brands that they have within Nike, right? And they collect data. They collect data about people that are buying, what do they look like? Are they more Caucasians or African Americans? Things like that. How much do they make? And they use those kind of information to sell their product. The same thing with Amazon, the same thing with Walmart, the same thing with Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. Does that answer your question though? Yeah. Any other question? Yes, sir.
You wanted to do engineering, right? Why did you get a degree in finance?
That's a good question. Okay. Yeah. So when I came to this country 13 years ago, I started talking to people. Like, okay, I have an engineering degree, from Nigeria. Does it make sense for me to go get a master's degree in engineering or kind of think about management route? And they told me, they said, it's management, it's MBA, because 10 years ago, MBA was hot cake, and MBA was going to pay me more. Okay, so that's why I went to do MBA. And when I got to MBA school, they asked me if I was going to specialize in project management, finance, accounting, production. I decided to do finance. That's how I got myself into finance. But that's even not relevant anymore because I'm actually doing IT now. That's the beauty, right? It doesn't matter what you do right now. You can always switch your career into IT. Any other question? Yes, ma'am.
So you were back to the program. I'm not sure if you are going to cover this, but you stated there was a 5-month program. How flexible is it? So if you're a professional, is it still possible to work your full-time job and then commit to a program like this?
Absolutely. So we meet twice a week, depending on the cohort that you belong to. It could be Monday, Wednesday, or Tuesday, Thursday. Okay. We have a Tuesday, Thursday that just started like about less than a month ago. Less than a month ago. So the next one is going to be Monday, Wednesday, and it's most likely going to start sometime in October, maybe first week in October. And we meet 3 hours a week. 6 hours a week. So it's going to be 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Now the good thing about the program is you do not have to be in class in person. You can call it into the class, even though we love to see everybody's face. If you're local, we'd love to have you come to the class, right? We are like 5 minutes away. We are right by Arizona Avenue and Elliott. Okay? So 6 hours a week. There's going to be a lot of homework. And I'm going to be honest with you, it's not going to be a piece of cake, right? If somebody's going to pay you $100,000 to do a job, it's not going to be a piece of cake, right? It requires a lot of dedication, a lot of hard work, right? And again, folks can testify to it. I see a couple of faces here. Sometimes they feel like they want to give up, but we keep encouraging them that, they should keep looking at the finish line. The finish line is almost there. Any other question? Thank you for all these questions. I really appreciate it. All right, go ahead.
Once the program is complete, you guys assist with employment. If you do, what is the employment rate?
Great question. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about this really quick. We tell people that we do not offer people jobs, and we do not guarantee jobs. Everybody's experience and situation are going to be different. Now, we're going to give you everything that you need. You're going to go through the program. When you finish the program, when you do really well, we will do your resume for you, help you put your resume together. We will coach you on how to interview. Okay? Because we've been doing this for 5 years, we know the kind of questions they're going to ask you. Right? We will coach you, it's a panel interview. It's going to be like 4 or 5 people just throwing questions at you, just to kind of get you ready for the real thing. Now, if you're able to do really well, and you're able to go out there and interview for the real job. Now, what happens then is between you and whoever is interviewing you, right? Because we cannot influence that. But you're going to have to go there and do really well so you can get a job. Now, we don't stop there. Go ahead.
So, in terms of percentage, what would you say is the success rate of your graduates in getting a job on completion?
I haven't put the data together, though. But on a very high level, if I may think about it, maybe around 65, 70%, maybe, something like that. Yeah. Out of every 10 people, 6, 7 people You know, some people, again, life happens sometimes, right? You know, people drop out like, okay, I have, issues going on, I can't finish the program, or in some cases, people don't give what it takes. They don't want to put in everything that's required. So those kind of situations, we see those sometimes. Yes.
How impactful is your typing speed?
No, forget about typing speed. Here's the thing, and I like this question, right? When you get on the job, it's most likely going to be project based. And when you get your project, you don't have to do it in front of people. You can go home and do your project. Or you have your desk, you write at your desk and do your job, right? I mean, nobody's going to, how do I put it now?
Micromanage.
They're not going to micromanage you, thank you, man. They're not going to micromanage you. Nobody's going to tower over you and be looking at what you're doing, over your shoulder and look at what you do. So I don't type fast. Just so you know, I'm really horrible at peak. Okay? Yeah. Yes, sir. It's right here. It's $4,000 for 5 months, and there's a registration for $100. Now, when you get that job, we provide 60-day support, meaning you're not going to be alone when you start your job. Remember, think about it. You switching your career, you're doing something new, and you just landed a job, and you're on this job, and you don't even know what to expect. You're not going to be alone. Okay? One thing we're trying to do at Eclipse Consult is we're trying to build a community. Just like the Indians, right? When you join the program, we have a mentorship program. We're going to assign mentors to you, and you can ask them questions. When you run into issues, you can talk to them. They can help you out. But like I said, we're trying to build a community. We're at this point where I get phone calls from potential employers, and they say, "Hey, I just saw this resume. Looks like this person is from you guys. He's going to be interviewing next week." Yeah, we're getting to that point, right? This thing is growing, and we continue to see a lot of success. A lot of people that look like me getting a really good job and getting into positions where they can help their companies hire people. So we're building that. So you're not going to be alone when you start your job. Hold on. Yes, sir. It's you can pay up front. When you pay up front, you get 10% discount, but you can pay every month. Okay? And one thing I tell people, and some of these guys right here they can attest to it, right? For us, it's not about the money, but it is about the money at the same time, because we have instructors that we need to pay them, and we pay them really well. Okay, we have an office that we have to pay rent. But one thing I tell people is, if you don't have everything this month, just communicate with me and tell me, "Hey, Doye, I don't have everything this month, but you know what, next month I'm going to make it up." I am really flexible. I deal with money with the company, right? I am really flexible. As long as your word is your bond, that's what I'm asking. You tell me something, I'm going to make it happen this time, let's make it happen. If it's not going to happen, let's communicate on time and let me know. Again, it's not really about the money. I have a full-time job. My business partner has a full-time job. But we want to build a community here. That's what we yeah, please.
So how do you manage that they don't feel intimidated in class and they're still able to learn what they're supposed to?
Yeah. So when we bring people in, we kind of assess where they are, and we have a little more advanced program that we recommend to people that we think they are a little bit advanced than other people. So we just kind of push them and nudge them to that program, and that program is like really small size, and And that program even pays better than the one I'm talking about right here. Yeah, but it's harder than this one. And again, the way we put the program together, it's for people that are just launching their career into IT. You're going to be doing Excel. A lot of people know what Excel is. Okay? But we're going to take Excel to the next level. And when you start doing it, you'll be like, oh, so Excel can do this. Okay? Number one reporting tool ever is still Excel. I use Excel every day. Okay? We're gonna do Power BI. There's something called Power BI. Okay, it's another reporting tool with Microsoft. You know, and with Power BI, you can create graphs and charts. You guys see like Wall Street, and you see all those graphs from Wall Street, like S&P 500 and NASDAQ and how they're doing. Those kind of charts, you can design those in Power BI. Okay? Yes.
Is a corporation going to recognize your, first of all, is a corporation going to recognize, I guess, a certificate from you and hold value on it? And the second thing is, because I was outside, what specific skills, I know you said Excel, but what specific skills could give me a promotion that is shown on a resume that I've learned or gained from your teaching?
Absolutely. Yeah, good question. So I encourage people, if you want some kind of certification, I have a couple of programs I can recommend to you. It's a Microsoft certified exams, right? If you really want some kind of certification that you can show employer, those ones carry more weight than what I'm going to give you. Okay? But what I'm going to give you is hands-on. What I'm going to give you is confidence that when you get on your computer, you know what you're going to do. Okay? The certification will not give you that. Anybody can go do some certification exams and pass.
Yeah.
There are DOMs and stuff online that you can go buy and you can pass certification. But IT is so unique that when you get on the job and they tell you to do stuff and you can't do it, you're done.
Yeah.
You know, unlike finance or, you know, some other, you know, project management, if you can speak with it very eloquent, you can talk your way through. But with IT, they give you a computer, they tell you to build a graph, they tell you to build a report, and you can't do it, and you have certification, and you have a degree in IT, it's not going to work. Now, again, we've been doing this for so long that we know what they're looking for. Okay, they would rather take someone that has hands-on than somebody that has a PhD that doesn't have hands-on. What's the point? If you have a PhD and you can't write a simple code or you can't build something, it's not an academia, right? You're not hired, you know, to teach. You're hired to do stuff with your hands. And that's what we're going to do. So you see right there, it says hands-on labs, weekly homework, individual and team projects. You're going to roll your sleeves and really get your hands dirty. And guys can talk to that. You know, you guys can speak to that here. Okay, any other question? All right. All right, so to your question, we have these other programs. Remember you were asking me about, you know, if somebody come in and they're a little bit advanced, we have some other programs for them that we can actually push them into. And these are the programs that I'm sharing with you here. These ones are a little harder, but they pay really well, you know. And even more, you know, if you really want to go into like deep six figures, I can guarantee that, guys. This right here, okay? All right, some of these I already talked about this, but I just want to maybe if you guys have any question. But the program is going to be hands-on. There's going to be project for you, you know. And the good thing about the project, I remember. So, because we do consulting and we do development, right? We get jobs from outside, real life projects, real life contracts. Okay? And we bring those to the class to have people work on. Okay, these are like real life project that we need to hand it back to the client, and we make people work on those kind of projects. But the only thing is we make them sign the dotted line so that when we're making millions, they're not going to come after us. So you could get an opportunity to work on those kind of projects. I spoke about resume building. I spoke about mock interviews to kind of get you ready. Then I spoke about collaboration. We're trying to build a community here, and I talked about the 60-day support and after 60-day support. Any other questions?
I have a question. So for this program, when you started, you stated that it's a career and it's people that want to start a business. Now, what kind of crowd are we targeting? I mean, single parents that have 2 children and they work a shift that is outside of the parameters that you have. So what kind of crowd are you targeting? Is it for someone, because with IT, from what I know is you don't have a life. So what kind of crowd are we talking about? Is it someone that has a family? Will you have family time? And then how do you transition this from career to starting a business?
Okay. All right. So it depends on the area of IT you find yourself. I'm an IT guy. I do 8 to 5, and I don't work on weekends. I don't do Saturday. I don't do Sunday. Okay, and I get my vacation. I get 4 weeks of vacation, and by the way, next year I'm going on sabbatical. I'm going on 8 weeks paid. Okay, so I have a life. I coach my daughter and my son soccer. They play soccer. I coach them. They practice a couple of times a week. Okay, they had a game this morning. I went there this morning to watch my daughter play. So, I mean, it depends on where you find yourself. Okay, and by the grace of God, my wife, she's a cybersecurity consultant. She has a life too. So it depends on where you find yourself. Now, speaking of single parents that are really busy with life, one thing I've done in the past, I've met people that have crazy shifts, okay? And I've been able to give them a letter from the school saying that they want to enroll in this program. Can you make their schedule flexible? And I've seen situations where supervisors, they make changes for these people. See, not until you start pushing, not until you start saying, you know what, I'm not going to take no for an answer, you're not going to get results. They're not going to hand it over to you. You're going to have to fight for it, right? So, yeah, and if we see a situation like that, talk to me, let's see if we can work something out for you. But just so you know, again, I'm saying this, it sounds really good. It's not going to be for everyone. Honestly. It's not going to be for everyone, right? It all depends on what you're passionate about. And even if you're interested in a program, I still need to talk to you and understand where you are, understand your background, make sure we're setting you up for success. It's not about just collecting your money. It's all about, can this person be really, really successful doing this? Because again, it's a different mindset, when you go into IT. It's all about problem-solving skill set. It's all about thinking outside of the box, right? You're not doing any physical work, but everything you're using your brain, right? Which is really demanding. So it's not going to be for everyone, but if you're interested, Sean has my information. You can talk to me. We can interview each other, and if you really like us and we like you, we can have a partnership together. One other thing I encourage people to do is that before you enroll in the program, talk to people. Now also come to class in person. If you cannot come in person, I can give you login credentials. We can call into the class and kind of get a feel for what we do. Because again, you're going to be committing 5 months of your time into something. Let us make sure it's exactly what you want to do. Yes, sir.
Is the program extendable? If you can complete it within the 5 months, is there room for extension?
Okay, good question. Well, I've seen situations like that in the past, and again, I'm really flexible. Talk to me about it. I've seen a situation where, you know, people go through the program and they get to a point they're like, you know what, I'm really not getting it, right? Okay, can I join the upcoming class? You know, I just want to start all over again. I've seen a situation like that. I'm not going to charge you extra, but just talk to me and I will make it work and we can start all over again. Any other questions? I have a couple more minutes. Questions? Again, like I said, guys, we're trying to build something really, really important, especially here in the Valley. And please, if you can try to be part of this community, we'll really appreciate it, because the more people that look like us in the industry, the better the opportunity for us to move around. You know, there's, like I said, there's a lot of money to be made out there in six figures, right? And the good thing about IT is you start with a data analyst job and you can work your way up depending on how hungry you are. If you're really hungry, I mean, in no time, you can make 150, 160, you know. I mean, I'm just throwing this money out there, but this money is for real. I'm not kidding, okay? I'm not kidding. It's for real. You know, you can make a lot of money in this field. And again, you can also have your own business. I think you were asking me a question about how do you transition into business, right? Yeah, sorry about that. It all depends on what you're passionate about. The IT is really huge. You can go into consulting. Like I said, you can start consulting for small companies and say, hey, provide me your data set. I can get you meaningful information. You know what? I can help you go drive a competitive advantage over your competition. I know your competition. I have your data. I can get meaningful information. When I give you this information, you can go compete with your competition and, you know, outcompete them and win them. Okay? And also you can go into development. You know, I mean, I know a couple of people that what they do is they just build stuff. You know, they don't even consult, they do real stuff, they do real work. Right? They go into contract jobs, right? Oh, that's another thing I didn't mention, right? As an IT person, you can get a full-time job, or if you want to go into contract, let's just pretend I just want to do 6 months in a year. The last 6 months, I just want to travel. Okay? Now you can do 6 months and not have a life. Like you said, just do that 6 months, you're done, you just travel. And when you come back, you can get another contract job. It doesn't have to be a regular full-time job. Any last questions? My time is up. Yeah, last question.
So do you have anything that is that are really great users if they already have done coding and want to work their way up?
It depends. So I can tell you a little bit of what we've done in the past. There was this kid at the time, I think it was like 17, maybe 18. Some of you might know him. He was one of the guinea pigs when we started this program 5 years ago, when we were just doing the pilot program. He was part of the pilot program. And we told him at the time, guys, don't pay us. We just want to, you know, just teach you guys, right? And he went through the program. He got himself a really, really good job. Unfortunately, he doesn't want to go back to school to get, because now he's making a lot of money. He got married and he's just enjoying his life, but he doesn't want to go back to school. So, yeah, if there's a 16-year-old, 17-year-old that wants to, you know, that's really good, bring them on board, you know, and we'll take care of them. All right, thank you very much. I really appreciate your time and all the questions.
Thanks, God, for Broadway. Thank you so much. Father, we just want to pray for your son, for the grace that you've given to him to bring information that can empower us in different areas of life. We pray that you continue to prosper him, his wife, and his children.